Thousands of people came together in Halifax last night for a musical celebration. The East Coast Music Awards were handed out at the Metro Centre and seen here on CBC television. Linda Kelly and I were both there, and Linda joins me now to share some of the highlights, and there were many, many highlights.
It was a great night. I'm sure there's a lot of bleary eyes at the airport today, but
Definitely.
a lot of big smiles too, especially a good night for Nova Scotian artists. There were 4 artists or groups who took home 3 ECMAs each, George Canyon, Joel Plaskett Emergency, In-Flight Safety, and J.P. Cormier. And right behind them were Jill Barber and Jamie Sparks with 2 each.
The winner is
George Canyon.
Get up here, George!
Pictou County's George Canyon was the fans' choice. He won the Entertainer of the Year award for the 3rd year in a row.
I'm scared to let all of this success in the last 3.5 years sink in, and that's the God honest truth. I don't know why. Maybe because if I let it sink in, it'll all be swept away.
Hey, good looking, why the frown? You always look better.
Joel Plaskett Emergency honors included Single of the Year for his song Nowhere With You.
Can I go nowhere with you? Here we go, come on!
My wife gave me the idea for that song, Rebecca. She gave me the title, actually. In fact, I think I'm in the doghouse because when we accepted this award, I blanked. But she was the one who said, it was a joke of hers, can I go nowhere with you? And I was like, oh, babe, that's a good name for a song.
Indie band In-Flight Safety landed the Rising Star Award.
We've come from basically being no one, making records in a basement in Sackville, New Brunswick, to being on this award show and winning these awards. It's a hell of a range of emotions in a long distance.
The day I took my love away, I swear I thought I heard.
2-time winner Jill Barber says she followed her heart from Ontario to Nova Scotia.
And I knew that Halifax was such a great place for music, and so I felt the calling in that respect as well. And but I never would have expected to find myself as I do on this stage. So.
Jamie Sparks, All I Need.
And Jamie Sparks also picked up 2 awards, including Single of the Year, sponsored by Z103.5.
I really appreciate the fact that they sponsored this award because, I mean, they're playing urban music. And I think it's good for the city to have an urban station.
Now, Linda, the highlight for me and for virtually everybody I spoke to after the show had to be the tribute. The stage was just flooded with talent, and there was so much emotion in that tribute as well.
It was an amazing set. Denny Doherty of the Mamas and Papas, the Prime Minister of the Blues, Dutch Mason, and the godfather of Celtic music, John Allen Cameron, were all honored last night. Cameron's son Stuart was joined by fiddler Ashley MacIsaac, Grammy winner Gordie Sampson, and 3-time winner J.P. Cormier.
It starts with John Allen, you know, that's where you start, because it's kind of the blues. John Allen is the blues.
I danced in the morning when the world was begun, danced in the moon and the stars and the sun.
When I was preparing for this, it became apparent to me that he wasn't going to be forgotten. And I know he knows it now too. It's great.
How they love that. Now, Linda, another important musician died over the weekend, Dermot O'Reilly, and he was acknowledged by Ron Hines just before Ron performed, too.
He was a big contribution to music. He passed away over the weekend. He was one of the members of Ryan's Fancy, along with Fergus O'Byrne and Dennis Ryan. And in fact, they received a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2004 from the ECMAs. O'Reilly is credited with rekindling Celtic music, the movement in Atlantic Canada, and with sharing the music and the culture of Newfoundland with the rest of the country. So he'll be missed in Newfoundland greatly.
Some highlights for me last night. First of all, the crowd leapt to their feet at the mention of Gordie Sampson and his Grammy win. So spontaneous. spontaneous and, of course, well-deserved. I also thought, you know, man, Peter MacKay, he left the auto cue and threw in Toronto and Ottawa and then finally remembered he was in Halifax. You don't load the gun like that with Mary Walsh coming up behind you without getting powed, and she nailed it.
You
for
sure don't. Some great performances, I thought, from In-Flight Safety. They were fantastic. Jill Barber, magical. There's so many. It was a great show.
I thought it was the best yet. So next year, Fredericton.
We'll be there.
All right, thanks, Linda.